Thank you, Mr. President. I rise this afternoon to address my colleagues about a circumstance in Kansas and really in the country, the pressing need for reform at Haskell Indian Nations University following serious allegations and finding of wrongdoing by the Bureau of Indian Affairs and Indian Education. Haskell University is a university located in Lawrence, Kansas. Haskell is the sole tribal nations university in the country and was established by the Department of Interior for the purpose of maintaining the federal government's trust responsibilities and treaty agreements to the Native Americans. Haskell University serves as a custodian of tribal culture, offering students the opportunity to receive tuition-free higher education in an environment that understands and prioritizes indigenous values. Yet, despite its critical importance, Haskell has faced significant challenges. Haskell's campus, which once served as a sanctuary for Native American art and history, has for years been neglected by the Bureau of Indian Education. Various buildings on campus, many which serve as U.S. National Historic Landmarks, are in disrepair or no longer in use. Many of the residential buildings on campus are not equipped with heating, ventilation, or air conditioning, and the campus is not compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. It is the responsibility of the Bureau of Indian Education, as described in the Indian Education Act of 1972, to, quote, ensure continued and expanded educational opportunities for Indian students. Yet the BIE has failed to maintain Haskell's infrastructure or to provide a safe campus for students and employees. Since 2017, I've been working to bring attention to the BIE's mismanagement of the university. On multiple occasions, I've called on leadership at the department to address the wide array of problems and challenges at Haskell. In 2022, serious allegations were reported to my office regarding improper treatment of students and the wrongful termination of an employee at Haskell Indian Nations University. In response, I contacted the Director of Indian Education, urging the BIE to address these issues. Although the BIE, of course, assured me in March of 23 that changes would be made to alleviate my concerns, we continued to hear and continue to hear from students and staff reporting the problems and reporting that those problems that were reported back then were not being addressed adequately. In October 2023, I was informed of a confidential on-campus investigation into the issues at Haskell. In April of 24, a report was released due to an investigation by the government watchdog agency, which revealed serious problems, including failures to adequately establish and follow policies regarding sexual assault, wrongful termination of employees, and intimidation of faculty and students. With these findings, I called on a systemic overhaul within BIE, but as has almost always been the case, the Department of Interior chose to delegate the responsibilities to an assistant secretary and refused to directly address the issues at hand. Since April 2024, I have made repeated requests to meet with Deb Haaland, the Secretary of the Interior, to discuss these issues. Every attempt for a discussion was rebuffed. This ongoing neglect is unacceptable. It's past time for real change at Haskell. To address these issues, last month I released a draft piece of legislation to provide a federal charter for Haskell Indian Nations University and to remove the Department of Interior and the Bureau of Indian Education from direct oversight of the university. The legislation will empower Haskell with self-governance, providing an organizational structure that reflects its mission, community, and needs of its students. The Marker Bill calls for the establishment of a new governing body at Haskell, a board of regents composed of Native American leaders, educators, and community members who will be directly accountable to the students, staff, and to the tribes that Haskell serves. The board would manage the university's budget, make decisions regarding academic programming, faculty, and facilities, and ensure that the institution is providing a high-quality educational experience for students that attend Haskell University, an educational experience that they deserve. I appreciate the support from the Haskell Board of Regents. The president of the board, Brittany Hall, said this, and I quote her, These challenges underscore the critical need for a more tailored governance model empowered by the U.S. Congressional Charter, one that enables the university to thrive while better serving its students and communities. By moving Haskell outside the purview of BIE, we remove the bureaucratic ambivalence that has hindered the university's growth and damaged it in significant ways its potential. I'd like to request that members of the Native American, Lawrence, Kansas, and higher education communities submit feedback to my office or to my colleague who is leading this effort in the House of Representatives, Congressman Tracy Mann, on the proposed legislation to ensure this bill effectively addresses key issues. We are looking for comment and input. The history of the federal government's treatment of Native Americans is filled with broken promises. We should not allow Haskell, a cornerstone of Native higher education, to become another promise we failed to keep. The students who walk through the doors of Haskell deserve better than the inefficiency and mismanagement and the neglect they faced under the current governance system. I look forward to working with all stakeholders to refine the draft legislation and request my colleagues join me in an effort to secure a prosperous future for Haskell University. Mr. President, I thank you for your attention.